The National Federation of Small Business came out with their May report on the state of small business in the United States on Wednesday. The NFIB's optimism index increased 0.4% in May to 89.4, marking the 17th consecutive month below the 49-year average of 98 points. Now, small businesses cited inflation as their primary problem to keeping their businesses afloat. Joining us now is Comerica Bank Head of Small Business Banking, Omar Salah, to discuss this more. So, Omar, talk about the key findings from this report and what stood out to you, especially as we're now after 10 hikes from the Fed at this point.
Yeah, great. Thanks so much for having me. Good morning. A lot of economic data out this week. We saw interest rates, we saw inflation, but the one, as you mentioned, what we pay particularly close attention to here in small business is the NFIB survey. So it really depends on how you read it. There's lots of headlines you can look at that will say that the NFIB optimism survey edged up this month, which it did. On the other hand, you'll also see, as you stated at the top, that for the 17th month in a row, small business owners are reporting lower optimism. So, and both are true. The small business optimism is down. It's below the 49-year average. The customers that we talk to indicate that inflation is still their highest concern, and that's been pretty much consistent for the last year and a half, either inflation, labor shortages. And so that's a consistent theme. I think what we've also seen too, and what's interesting to note, is that the net percent of small business owners that have been raising their prices, that actually came down by 1% this month, and that's the lowest that we've seen since March 2021. And a part of that, and with the customers that we've spoken to about that, they've given lots of different reasons for really how they're managing prices. And one of those is one of the reasons of slowing the pace of their price increases right now is really trying to drive sales volumes during the busy summer months. So that was an interesting thing that we saw. Another one too is, despite elevated interest rates, an increasing number of small business owners are reporting an increased need for capital. So 58% of customers that or owners, that reported in the survey said that they are expecting capital expenditures in the next 6 months. So that includes, looking for new equipment, buying vehicles, expanding those facilities. And what we're seeing is highlighted in our loan demand. We continue to see small business owners need credit and need access to credit, and that's been consistent from what we saw in the NFIB this week.
Hey, Omar, it's Julie. The question is whether they can get that credit, right? I mean, they have all these plans to spend. They want to borrow money, but we keep hearing that credit conditions are tightening. Now, I presumably you can just speak for yourselves and not speak for the wider world, but are you guys tightening your standards here?
No, and I think really the noise around credit tightening is real in some pockets of the economy. And really what we are telling our customers, and really what we're highlighting, is to really build that relationship with your bank. Banks today need to be selective with where they put capital. And I think what we are advising is stay close with your customers, stay close with your bank. We really like to see those robust relationships with our customers. In terms of credit, we just launched this week, for example, a brand new access to capital program for small business customers and small business owners to really get access to capital quickly to owners. So I think it really depends on where you are, what level of business we're talking about, the micro, small business up until the large corporate mid-market.
What is the reality of how tightening credit conditions or financial conditions for small businesses could pass through to the employment situation here in the U.S.?
I think what we are really helping what we're guiding our customers on really is making sure that you're preparing for the future and making sure that you're preparing yourself if credit conditions do tighten across the industry. And so what this means is, although borrowing costs may be elevated, most likely through the end of the year, we're making sure that our customers are managing their cash flow, they're managing their excess liquidity, they're ensuring that they are getting their financial house in order. So for example, we're advising our customers, make sure you build up and assemble at least a 6-month cushion of operating expenses. That can be a combination of cash and working capital. If you have excess cash reserves today, park it in a high yield savings account so that you can use that for a rainy day, like making sure that you're jumping on opportunities. Review your balance sheet. That's something that we talk about all the time. Make sure that you're looking for ways to tighten up. Do I have older receivables that need to be collected? Am I maximizing all available payment methods through my site? You see those little pay buttons on the e-commerce site, the Apple Pay, the credit card, the PayPal, the Zelle. Make sure you have all that. I think furthermore, when we talk to customers about credit and the macro economy, make sure you're reviewing your pricing. I think that's a big thing, really margin management. Am I realizing a positive margin with every customer? Am I losing money on certain clients? Am I taking advantage of market research tools? There's lots of tools out there that exist for small business owners to really help them compare performance against other industries and assess pricing. We just launched a tool earlier this year called Size Up. It's really it's a tool to help small business customers really harness the power of big data and get free market data. So I think what we're really telling, I think that the punchline here for our customers and for the small business community at large is stay close to your bank, make sure that you are in the free time that you do have, which small business owners don't have a ton of, make sure you're reviewing your pricing, make sure you are getting your financial house in order.
Omar, thanks so much. Omar Salah is Comerica Bank Head of Small Business Banking. Thank you.